Welcome back to Bump Love. This week, we would like to slide into our DM. So, in the DM, hey mamas, I have a 3-year-old son, but he's extremely stubborn. He has anger management issues as young as he is. He doesn't seem to listen. I have tried slapping, giving all sorts of punishment, like blackmailing him into something, denying him his favorite thing, but he doesn't seem to change. I never use maids for too long. They leave because of his stubbornness. I'm drained, so drained, and I am losing it. I need help with my son. So, ladies, we would like to discuss and maybe help this young mother along the way.
First off, it's terrible what you are going through. I can't imagine what being frustrated with your child is, that you're trying everything and it doesn't seem to be working. I think one of the things that makes scenarios like this painful is like, this is my child, how did you come from me? How is it that I'm telling you one thing and you're not listening? So what I sense is that the authority lines have been blurred. So he almost, either he doesn't respect or recognize you as an authority, and I think that needs to be fixed, because if he recognizes and sees you as an authority, then one, he's able to listen, but two, he's able to do exactly what you're telling him to do. So in terms of fixing authority, or like reestablishing that I am the authority here, I think things like, you can't be angry when he's angry, because then you're sort of coming down to his level. The other thing that comes to mind, it seems as though he has no handle on how to, handle his emotions, which is understandable because he's 3 years old. However, that responsibility lies on you. You're the one supposed to help him figure out how to manage his emotions. And there's different ways you can do that. I guess talking through what he's feeling and helping him to put a label on what he's feeling, because sometimes when kids don't know how to handle their emotions, it then turns into anger and frustration, which can then tumble into disrespect and beating and kicking and disorganizing the entire household. So helping him label his emotions. So if he's upset or if he's expressing an emotion, maybe find names. It's like, oh, are you feeling sad? Are you feeling embarrassed? Are you feeling, is it because of this? Is it because of A, B, C, D, E? And if you feel like you can't manage the upsetness, then walk away, breathe, and then come back and handle the situation in a calm manner. Because if he sees you calm, then he's like, oh, maybe I want to be that. I want to be calm. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be furious. So you need to establish the authority lines, because as it seems, it's like there's you and then there's him, and you're just fighting, and you're constantly at loggerheads. He needs to understand once again that you are his mom and you are in control. So you need to show him that you are in control. Yeah, that would be my 2 cents.
Yes, I like the whole authority issue, especially when it comes to a 3-year-old is a toddler, is a baby banagi. So there's also like some communication break. Maybe you don't speak the same language, so much as you cannot come down to his level, you kind of have to come down to his level at certain points, but not react the same way he's reacting. He's angry at you now, you can't be angry. My relationship with my mom when we were growing up, but this started even from when we were younger, and she would always tell us, you've got to pay more attention to the person rather than the choices they make because of what's going on around them. So you pay more attention to his anger and the reasons for his anger than what he does to show his anger. So right now he's doing something wrong, but you're not going back to the cause, you're going to the symptom, and that's what you're trying to treat. He's lashing out, he's caning, is not working. So now your anger is on that why isn't anything working, as opposed to finding out what is that has caused this issue. Because the more he lashes out, the more you lash out, the more you fight him, the more he lashes out. It's a vicious cycle. And for me in my head, it might be nothing connected to this, but he might be dealing with something deeper and because communication is difficult, he can't relay himself. So let's look at this pandemic really. There has been a recording of more suicide and depression rates during this period recorded than ever before. Your child lived through it. Me, I'll always come back to terrible twos. People sometimes say, that terrible twos is not a thing. Terrible twos is a thing. Your child has lived through his terrible twos under house arrest. this is a time when children are most confused, like they're wondering what's going on, and they're fighting themselves also. They're not fighting you, even within there is an internal war. So and this might be also a reflection on what's happening at home. People in the home, even the adults, might not be dealing well with what's going on, because even us, we're all struggling during this time, and this may be projecting himself onto him subconsciously, and you have no idea. And also, this could have nothing to do with the pandemic, but there's something definitely underlying. And for me, mine has always been to try to bond when everything is okay. Kids are not naughty all the time, every single minute of the day. We get tired, even as naughty children, we'll get tired. There's a point where you'll be all right. So you've got to capture those moments. The problem is some parents remain angry, even in those times when you're okay. So now you just have to relax your emotions, relax your rules, and get a time when you bond with him, You foster quality time at the times when things are okay, when things are normal, and then you build on from there, and then try to extend the good times, like try to forward them so that even if they feed into the wrong times, maybe you're able, the foundation, the landing is soft. So for me, mine will always be try to bond at the time when nothing is wrong, and try to foster quality time, let me say, at that time, maybe during playtime, figure out things to do that maybe he likes to do and join him in doing them. So those would be my 2 cents on the issue.
Wow, amazing, Pumla. I think mine would be to stay calm. We need to learn the art of staying calm. I have a 3-year-old, but when he's angry and throwing tantrums and he also become angry, you will even kick him to the ceiling. Like that's how we get to hit him. You can throw him to that, don't kick him to the ceiling because you're also angry. So if you learn the art of staying calm, it really helps you, because then you're not also getting angry because he's being, throwing tantrums and being all weird on you. But I've also learned to pray. We're talking about teenagers and saying we need to pray for teenagers, but we need to start early, Some of these emotions they show, or some of their character, are because maybe their uncle was like that. Maybe their dad is like, maybe you are like that. You are like that when you are a child. I mean, you need to pray yourself out of your child, your young self out of your child. So for me, I've learned the art of, like, you've done everything. You've caned them. You have done the naughty corner. When the worst gets to the worst, the best you can do is pray. Like after you've prayed, you're relaxed and you're like, well, God will not really forsake me. I'm sure he'll remember me and tame these kids. So yeah, I think that for me, that's what I do. You can do everything else and it fails, but prayer never fails. So yeah, that's my take.
I was going to speak of genetics. Sometimes it's like doing the same thing and expecting different results. You understand me? I'm 5'5", and I know on average, I'm on the lower side. So you make sure that you marry somebody who's taller so there's hope for your children. I'm fire. It's important to pick your ice. So this child could be picking up these ideas or things, not even picking them up. They're already genetically inbuilt in the person that he is. So it's important to look out for that. Without pointing fingers, I just noticed that most likely I'm tougher on my children when I see bad characteristics that come from me. So you really want to iron those out, because inside what the issue is. So if you are, people say, headstrong, you can take a negative characteristic and make it positive. Headstrong people usually don't give up, and that is a very good quality when it comes to life. Once again, since it's 3 years, so maybe he hasn't yet understood. He does not comprehend what you're telling him. So maybe you could move to actions. As Pumla said, be it actions, be it speaking to this child, it's best that you have this discussion when you are not in the pressure cooker kind of arrangement, when everything, has toned down. But in this state, I think it is like super important. But when you mention COVID, as you know, my children are way older. But if they are having a problem being in one place, out of their usual routine, imagine what it feels like for your 3-year-old who does not understand what is happening. COVID is going to have serious effects on our children. just being locked up. You're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backwards. I think that's the worst experience. At least if you're going back, you're repeating a class or something, but they're just there. So imagine what it feels like for a 3-year-old having a parent at home all the time. So that would be my take on that.
Oh, thanks, Angie. I thought, what you guys say is so true. A lot of what you guys have said is extremely true, especially, those things about what they're feeling, their character could be as a result of themselves. Like, yeah, you guys know, I have my mini me and she drives me up the wall. And I guess she drives me up the wall because I see the things and I'm like, honey, I worked on myself later in life. I want to assist you so that you don't have to go through it. So there, and then of course she's fighting and we are fighting each other and all of that stuff. But in addition to what all of you guys have said, I just wanted to say that for me, there's two things to realize what's happening to a 3-year-old in this time. They have found their independence all their lives. Someone had to feed them. They couldn't feel full unless you put a breast in their mouth. They couldn't bathe unless you held them. So this is the first time they're finding their independence. And guess what happens when you get a new shoe? You want to wear it. Guess what happens when you get a new hairstyle? You want to show it off. So your child is in a place of showing off, and I don't want to show off, okay, maybe of instilling or finding out their independence. So I think for me, my advice for you right now is not try anything. Just stop, like absolutely stop. I think it's Pumla who said that. Stop, just stop and find yourself, because even you right now, you're lost, right? You're lost. You feel like you're going to lose yourself. You've said it, like you're going to lose your mind. What that means is you're no longer seeing your child from a healthy point of view. So first stop. Let him go and jump on top of the table. Let him go. First go and find yourself so that you can come back to that place of authority that Rachel talked about. So first go away and then come back to build this relationship with your child that Pumla was talking about from a place of authority. You need to build a relationship with your child. And I would advise you that just in the start, let your child lead. So say, for example, they want to jump on top of the table. Tell them, oh, you want to jump on that table? Come and I take you. Take them to a high place where they can feel like it feels like a table. Take them up there and say, okay, now here, you jump here. Or they keep messing up the wires of the TV or something like that. They keep playing maybe in the sockets. Go to a hardware shop, get wires, get a socket, give them the socket. You say, here, you have. When you want to touch these ones, here, you have. He goes back and messes them. You say, you come, here, that's, you play. You are not play, like, or you mess it up. He needs to, I feel like he's those kids who need to see you accepting. Like I found that about Bianca. Like when you say no, she wants to say no back. She's like, Pumla, like she's not even looking at what you've said, right? No, she just wants to see how she can push you. So there are points when I'm just like, okay, you do. And then she's like, I don't want to do. I'm like, no. You said you wanted to shower at 9 p.m. You shower at 9. Okay, you shower. No, I want to shower now. Let me shower now. Because they just want to try you. They want to try you. So if they're in a place of trying you, especially if it's not a matter of life and death, you allow. You say, oh, it's okay. You want to play in the rain, go, close the door, and you've undressed. Yeah, undressed, you leave. There's a place where they reach, like I think Pumla said, they really don't want to make you upset. But they're like, the way things are going, it looks there's an issue here. So that's what I would say from my point of view. And so, like Pumla said, it could be COVID, it might not be. I'm thinking it might not be, and it's more about your relationship as a mom, because I also don't want you to go think to yourself, we are COVID, and then do nothing about it. It might not be, no, it's actually possibly, highly possible that it's not COVID because your child's brain has already adapted to this format. And so it's about that relationship, that cadence between the two of you. That's what's, yeah. Over to you, Angie.
I will disagree a bit, Manuela. True, the child has grown, was born during this period. So yes, it wouldn't affect them. But remember, the parents that the child is living with are being affected by the COVID. So the lockdown. So if it's not the child, then at least the parents, and you know how we are during this period, anything will make you snap. So as I said, at the end of the day, I think it's important as parents for us to sit down, look within ourselves, and slowly find solutions, especially during this period when there's not too much white noise coming from all these different angles. So it gives you a chance to reflect and maybe, find a way forward. Would love to hear from all of you. Drop us a comment, and this goes for both moms and dads. And we will see you next time with love from Bump Love.